In this video, I'm going to show you step by step on how to create a professional product video like this in just 10 minutes and using your iPhone. Hi guys, welcome to Talk Shop. This is where I help all my subscribers that have Etsy stores to be successful, because my shop has reached to be #1 pet product store on Etsy.com, and it's because I use these techniques. It's because I'm efficient at what I do, and I'm very strategic. And one of those efficient things that I do is making my videos fast and professionals. I have over 80 items on my store, and every single item has a video, and I'm going to keep uploading, and my goal is to have 200 products by the end of the year. I don't know if I'm going to reach it, but I definitely need to have a systematized way to make my videos, and so that every single listing has a very professional look. And so I've created this system on how to make videos fast, professional, and efficient, and so I'm going to share that with you. So let's look at the stuff that you're going to need to make videos like that. First, I want to show you guys my light box. I absolutely love this thing. This thing is amazing. It sits in one spot, and I never have to worry about lighting because it has 2 light fixtures facing the back, and it gives sufficient enough light to where I can just sit in one spot and it does all the lighting for me. It reflects the light on all the corners of the box, and it's an amazing thing. You could get one. There's different sizes. I like to get this size because I like to have enough room. I wish it would be bigger, but this is actually plenty enough for me to do my photos. Then I went to Home Depot and I got this board. It's a floorboard, and all that you do is just pick one you like and cut it down to size, and that's it. Now I use this floorboard mainly for photos, but when I do videos, I do use this turntable. I absolutely love this turntable. I bought it on Amazon. It allows me to keep my phone in one spot. And by the way, I'm not an affiliate to any of this stuff. I'm just sharing with you guys what I use. But the reason why I love the turntable is because though the light box has a big shape and it's a big light, the moment you start to move your camera around, you start to get those pillars and the frame of the box into the frame, and I don't like that. So the way I solve that is having a turntable that allows me to move my product and not my phone. So my frame is always the same, but the only thing that moves is the product, which allows me to get different angles of the product and allows me to get motion without me having to break the frame and get all the utility things like the frame into my shots. So what we're gonna need for this is obviously the product. We're gonna take photos of these 2 amazing looking collars. By the way, if you want any dog collars for your pet, if you have a dog, make sure you go check out my store on Etsy. It's Tag Pup, or just type in dog collar and my product will be the first one that pops up. It's a peach floral dog collar. So make sure to check out if you do want any collars for your dog. But anyways, so let's go back and continue our video production. So we're gonna use these collars, we're gonna use a phone, very simply, and we're gonna use this turntable, and of course the light box. All right, so first what we wanna do is we wanna position our product. Positioning the product has been kind of also part of the system process. I have about 4 different types of positioning that I like to use, and I always do that on all of my collars, right? And tags have their own specific positioning, and then leashes have their own. So I have about 3 to 4 different positions that I always put my collars in. That allows me to shorten my time on making the video, because I don't have to think about how am I going to position this. I have tested and looked at all the different positionings that I can use, and I figured out 4 of these great looking positions that you will see that on all of my photos and all of my videos on my listing. But anyway, so we're going to position that. We're just going to take our phone. All it is just through the phone, I want to see the frame of the collar, and I reposition it the way that will look good on the frame, because it really doesn't matter how else it looks like. As long as it looks good on the frame, then we can know for certain that we are going to be good in the video. So once I like it, I'm going to turn the table, and it's just going to start spinning, and I'm going to hit record. And all I'm doing is just letting it spin. That's how simple it is. So once I've taken the first video, I'm going to let it spin a little bit, and then I'm going to press record from the other angle. And you don't have to record the whole thing around. Now you could. It actually makes everything simpler if you just made one long video of it rotating the whole way. But sometimes I don't have the time, so I just, record, stop, record, stop. it doesn't bother me. I just do that. So now I'm gonna move it into my next position. Again, I'm very confident in that positioning, and I've done it multiple times, so I can do it while the table is rotating. So again, same thing here, press record, maybe pause it at some point in the rotation process, and then hit record at another point in the process, and the process repeats the same. So keeping things similar is very, very, very important in this case. Once I've done that, then I move on to the next collar. As you notice, I will put the collar in the same exact position. I don't change anything. I've already done my creative part earlier on, and I apply that creativity to all of my shots. And if you look at my store, you'll find that all of my shots or all my videos look almost exactly identical, because that just makes things shorter. And customers, they don't really care too much for it, really, because they're looking at each product separately sometimes. And if they do 2 to 3, they sometimes might not even notice that there's similar angles on those products. So now this is also, of course, different from product to product. If you have a larger size, then you can, it'll obviously look different for you on how to take these videos. And then obviously when I have a set of collars, I have its own positioning when they're working together and how they rotate. All right, and now it's time, now once I got some of my far out shots, I also like to do some close-up shots. These are great little B-rolls in between some of the shots. I like to do close-up shots, and I also have a positioning as well that I like to put my collars in or my products in order to get those close-up shots as well. Again, systematizing everything allows you to move faster through the recording process, and that allows you to edit it much faster because you know what to expect, and your editing is so much more easy. All right, now let's jump on my computer and start editing. Now we're just gonna select the videos, and once I drop it in, it does it backwards, and so I'm just gonna start selecting them from the beginning, and we're gonna start with the first video. Now I'm gonna share with you guys the technique that I like to use. It's a very stylish technique, so I'm gonna delete some of the stuff I don't like, but it's a very stylish technique. What I do is I actually clip the first part of the video, the majority of the video, and I speed that up. What that allows me to do is that rotating happens faster, so I'm gonna trim the parts I don't like, and then leave that big part, and it's gonna rotate just like that. I love this technique because it makes your product look very stylish, and it really looks cool, and you can do that with the rotating table. That's the nice part about it. All right, so we're just gonna decrease our volume because we don't want the sound of the turntable to be in our video. So we're just gonna apply that volume decrease on all of our videos. And if you're using Final Cut Pro, the easiest way to do that is Shift-Command-V. Once you've copied it, so Command-C, once you've copied it, then you can click Shift-Command-V in order to apply the changes that you made to that one specific clip. And you can do that with volume, and that's what I just did. So anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna find more clips that we like, and you don't always have to use all of them. You can delete some of your videos. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this shot as well. Again, I really like this technique, so I tend to overuse it, but people love it. Everybody says these shots look amazing, but all it is just speed up and slow down. So now with this video, what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna do it at one point in the video where it's gonna rotate, and at one point it's gonna stop. So we're gonna have a speed rotation right in the middle of the video. I like to do this as well, especially when it's rotating. It kind of moves it along much faster to show the customers the features sooner, and that they don't have to wait for it to rotate all the way. So on this one, I'm actually, I like how it goes backwards. Sometimes moving the cursor around allows you to see how things look in reverse. So what we're gonna do, we're actually gonna reverse this video and let it move in a different direction to give an eye a little bit of a break so that things are not moving in one direction. Sometimes it's okay, but sometimes I like to break it up a little bit and make it go backwards. So I'm gonna trim the video, and the beginning and the end, the moments of shakiness and moments of that I just don't like. And then once we got that trimmed away, we're gonna go ahead and reverse the video, and we're gonna have it play backwards. So once we play it backwards, we're gonna speed it up and slow it down. And so then we're gonna do speed up and slow it down, just like that. And that looks great. I love it. Maybe a little bit faster than, maybe that's a little too fast. Let's go ahead and speed it up, slow it down just a little bit. There we go. I like that. That looks really good. So let's move on to the next shot. This shot, I like these shots. I like to do, and again, I systematize everything. I like to keep this shot at the very end and that'll allow the logo to pop in, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. So anyways, love this shot. I'm gonna trim it a little bit as well. Just from beginning to end. Remember, we got real estate is very valuable in this case because we only have 15 seconds. So I trim out everything that has any sort of on the fence in terms of shots. Okay, that's a good shot right there. We're gonna trim it. Okay, and on this video, let's go ahead and do that fast to slow once again. We're gonna paste that. We're gonna do that. Yep, that looks a lot better. And we're gonna trim this as well. From here, gonna delete that part, and then we're gonna let it pause right there, and we're gonna speed that up. So again, I think we've copied the wrong preset, so we're actually gonna copy the one that's reversed, and then we're gonna paste that to be the application. There we go. That looks really good. Let's see, I think I'm gonna delete this one. I don't like that. So, and then boom. Now again, we got 20 seconds. So we're gonna actually, trim up a little bit. We're already getting too much time. So we're just gonna trim up some stuff that just seems to be a little too long. Let's go over here and delete, let's trim this. Okay, so we're just gonna trim this a little bit. We don't want the customers to see that too long because we don't got much time. We're gonna trim this maybe a little bit. And I think we're looking, maybe this one a little bit too. I think we're looking good right about here. I think we're at a good spot where we can animate the logo. So yep, that looks good. Now we'll do color correction in a second. Maybe I can go ahead and trim this. No, that's fine. So now we're gonna do some logo animation. I'll show you how to do that. Pretty simple. So we're gonna we're gonna trim this video just to that 15 seconds. So let's come back a little bit. Right there, good. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our logo. So we're gonna drop this logo in. It has to be in PNG. Make sure the background is transparent. We're gonna move it right over that shot. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna start the animation with the logo being at opacity at 0 and the scale to be at a large scale, just full screen scale. Okay, so then we move it maybe right here is where we want it to kind of finish its animation, and opacity at 100, and it pops in at that size right there. So now this is a little slow. Let's go ahead and make sure that it goes a little faster. Let's redo that scaling. We're gonna go from this moment again. We're gonna let the computer know, say, hey, at this moment it's gonna be full size, and this one we're gonna slap it down at that size. So now let's do the same thing with opacity. Now that we have undone the opacity, again, opacity is gonna start at 0 in the beginning, and it's gonna be at 100. So wait a minute. So let's go ahead and put up 100 here, and it's gonna be at 0 right here. So then the animation will happen to where it's large to small, opacity at 0 to 100, and it's gonna create that pop effect. And let's go ahead and trim that. I like to do this logo. It's a really simple thing. Now you can just save this, and you can always apply this to every single video, so you don't actually have to do that. I'm just doing it here just to show you that that's something that you can do. All right, so let's go ahead and do color correcting. Color correcting is a very straightforward process. I'm just checking right now, making sure everything looks good in terms of shots and motion. I like that. There's a little bit of shakiness, but we're gonna correct that with some stabilization. So first, let's go ahead and do some color correction. Now, the way I like to do it is I like to do the whites a little bit brighter because it's obviously a white background. Now we don't want to do the exposure on the mid and the low range too much. Because I do want some vibrance. The saturation on the highs, we're gonna not do too much because again, we don't want that yellow to pop up in the background. We're gonna do the mid-range up, and then obviously the blacks, in this case, we don't want it too much. Now we're gonna bring down the yellow just in case there is any yellow. But the problem with that, it creates a very bluish atmosphere, very cold product. So we're gonna bring down the blue a little bit, maybe play around with the brights, but we'll just keep it right there and maybe bring this one down. Nah, that's making it too green. So maybe well, you know what, that doesn't look too bad. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go in and stabilize this video. And then once we've done that, we're going to apply the settings, again, Shift Command well, once we're gonna Command C, we're gonna copy that, and then we are going to Shift Command V to apply this presets to all of them. So we're letting it analyze the stabilization right now. All right, now that looks good. So let's go ahead and apply that to all the settings. So we're gonna apply, whoops, you know what, let's go ahead and actually apply this setting, copy that setting so that the timing is not changed. And we're just gonna start applying all the color correction on all the lists, on all the clips. And we're just gonna go through all of that, make sure we don't duplicate the settings, because once you copy paste twice on one clip, it's just gonna double the exposure, double the saturation, so we don't wanna do that. Once we apply that to all of them, after that, we're going to stabilize every single clip. Now, there's ways to do it where you can apply that to all the clips, but in this case, I'm just gonna show you the simplest way to do it. Just select one and stabilize it. Now, it stabilizes as you do it, so you don't actually have to sit there and wait for it to stabilize. In fact, you can actually export it, and it will export with stabilization applied to all the clips. Now, with my computer, it's a fairly quick computer, so it can do it fairly quick. So we're just gonna finish the stabilization on all the videos, and I think we're looking good. All right, let's look at the video from the beginning, and this is what we have. I think it looks great. The motions are great, the shots are great, and all we had to use was our phone and a rotating table with our camera in one spot. The only thing that changes is the positioning of the collars thanks to our rotating table, and that's it. And that is it for today. Hopefully that was helpful. If it was, please leave a like. That helps me a lot. It costs you absolutely nothing. Comment on the bottom what products you sell, and maybe I can give you more advice on certain kinds of techniques that you can incorporate making your videos. And if you are new to this channel, if you're new to this video, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification, because I do create content that does help you to become the #1 in your niche. All right, that's it for today. I'll see you next time.